Hi folks, Lee here from Vape Reviews, continuing now with my third review from the JACVapour Red Taster tin. JACVapour is a Scottish company, so it's local, and yeah, this is a UK liquid produced in labs in London. Okay, so it is local, and yeah, okay, so as with the other liquids in these taster reviews, the Smooth Cigar, which is the one that we're looking at today, Smooth Cigar is 5ml taster bottle, 18mg strength, 80/20 PGVG, and it does come with the childproof cap. Okay, it's kind of a browny coloured liquid, kind of a light brown. You might not be able to see it very well in this light, but it's a kind of a light brown. Okay, so let's have a vape and see what we think. Oh, I should say, as with the other liquids in these reviews, I put some of the liquid into the cartomizer, dripped it into the cartomizer, left it overnight, and then I've topped it up again just before the review, so to get an extra kind of hit of the flavour. So let's have a taste. Okay, right. Interesting one, this. Apologies if I'm looking down. I'm going to fill in my little flavour chart while I'm talking to you. Rude, I know. I do apologise. There is a bit of a harshness to it. I would say there's a bit of a harshness, but it is for the most part quite smooth, which is good because it is smooth cigar flavour, but there is a smoothness with an underlying harshness. I think if you top this liquid up, it will increase the harshness, obviously. If you let it rest overnight or for a couple of hours, the harshness does tend to go away a bit and you do get more of the smooth taste. But as an e-liquid, there is a harshness. As a tobacco e-liquid, it's not too harsh, which is good. There's a definite smokiness to the flavour, a little bit of a woodiness. Yeah, a little bit of a woodiness, but not too much. Quite a dry flavour as a tobacco. No sweetness really at all in it. It's not a sweet tobacco, so that's obviously quite good if you're looking for a more smoky tobacco flavour. In terms of the hit, at the moment it's not actually, for an 18mg liquid, it's not that strong. Vapour production is pretty good for a PG, for a mostly PG liquid. It's not one that I would call one of my favourites. It has improved since the first time I vaped it. I think once you let it settle and then add a few drops, the dimensions of the flavour come out more. It's not the kind of liquid you want to kind of fill a cart with and then start vaping straight away, because you do get quite a bit of harshness from it, and not a great deal of the flavour comes through until it's rested. It's actually not that bad a flavour, really. My opinion of it's improved over time. I think if I'd reviewed this when I first got it and I first tried it, I probably would have given it maybe like a 3, a 2 or a 3 out of 10. I wasn't very fond of it. It is a lot nicer actually now that it's rested. Still not something I'd probably want to vape too often. Definitely not something I would class for myself as an all-day vape. If you are a cigar smoker, then perhaps it would be for you. I much prefer the kind of Havana, Cuban style cigar liquids. This, for me, tastes more like a kind of small UK cigar, maybe like a Hamlet. So if you are used to and enjoy, that sentence makes no sense, if you are used to kind of Hamlet cigars or small UK cigars, and you enjoy them, then you will probably enjoy this liquid. For me, I'd prefer something a bit more kind of Cuban, Havana. It's got a smokiness to it, but that's kind of the dominant flavour, which is kind of good in a way for a tobacco because you get the smokiness, but you can't really taste many other dimensions of flavour. You can't really taste kind of a nuttiness or a kind of a caramel. There is a slight woodiness, I would say, but it's not that strong. For me personally, I would probably now give this maybe a 4.5, bordering on a 5, which is pretty good because it's jumped up from what it would have been a 3 perhaps. Yeah, I mean, as a tobacco flavour, it's actually quite nice. It has become smoother over time. So for this one, if you want that smoothness, if you want that flavour, and you're not, you don't want an incredibly strong hit and a kind of a harshness, I would recommend letting this one settle, maybe settle overnight and then add some drops in the morning. It may take a couple of fills of the cartomizer to get the full flavour, as it has done for me. But yeah, flavour, in terms of what it's supposed to be, it's hard for me to say because I'm not really that familiar with cigars. I'm a bit more familiar perhaps with Cuban Havana kind of taste, but not so much with this kind of cigar. Maybe kind of an 8. Maybe you disagree. If you've tasted the flavour and you're used to the UK kind of cigars, then do leave a comment if you think that 8 is a bit stingy or a bit generous. Flavour chart wise, okay, it is quite smooth, but with a bit of harshness. There is a smokiness, definitely, it's a dominant flavour, a bit of woodiness, but not that much really, it's just about there. It's quite a dry flavour, and a moderate hit. It's not actually that, for an 18mg tobacco liquid, it's actually quite a weak hit compared to what I thought it would be. Moderate, after it's settled for a while, it may even border on kind of a bit of a weak hit. I'm not really used to 18mg liquids. Normally they provide a bit too much of a throat hit for me, but this is quite a calm, moderate one. Okay, so yeah, from me, it's okay. It's not my kind of liquid necessarily, but I think it has improved over time, and I think it's something I could now vape. Before I probably wouldn't have gone back to it, but it's something I can now vape. So yeah, maybe like a 5, I can't remember what I said now, 5.5, 5, well, maybe around a 4.5 to 5 for me for this one, which is pretty good considering that I didn't like it before. Okay, enough waffling. You can of course buy this liquid from JACVapour.co.uk in 10, 20 and 30ml bottles. Nicotine ranges go from trace up to 24, because it's a tobacco flavour that is created from tobacco extract. You can't go down to 0, but it is practically 0, so it's kind of lower, less than 1mg, I think it's marketed as. So yeah, from there to 24, you can get it in an 80-20 PG-VG or VG-PG mix, and yeah, it's an interesting one. I think, if you've tried this and you want to kind of leave your comments, then do leave them in the comments. It'd be interesting to see what different people think about this one. Hopefully I'll have some 15% voucher codes coming up soon. Put them in annotations and in the description, and you can get 15% off your first JACVapour order. And yeah, stay tuned for some more flavour reviews from the taster boxes. Thank you for watching, and happy vaping.